Straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here.
Hello and welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. Right on the show, Pakistan cricket's troubles don't seem to end. The ICC event that they're very keenly waiting to host next year, the Champions Trophy, is entering rocky waters with India set to deny travelling to the country yet again. What will happen of the event and how will the standoff play out? That's a little later on the show, but also as the world continues to celebrate Gukesh, the candidates champion, we look at the secret to his success, what led to making him one of the best chess players in the world. And the Merseyside Derby ends in tears of joy for one club and tears of disappointment and dejection for the other. Is this season going to see a bittersweet end to Jurgen Klopp's inspirational tenure at Liverpool? All of that in a while from now, but first, a look at the headlines in Sports 360. We'll start with cricket. Delhi beat Gujarat by 4 runs in India's T20 League. Delhi posted a staggering 224 runs batting first. Rishabh Pant led from the front and smashed an unbeaten 88. In response, Gujarat managed to score 220 for 8. Legendary sprinter Usain Bolt has been named as ambassador for the Men's T20 World Cup that is set to take place in the US and the Caribbean islands. Usain Bolt is one of the most famous athletes from the islands with 8 Olympic gold medals and 11 World Championship titles. Over in football and the Premier League, Manchester United secured a 4-2 victory against Sheffield United. Man United had to come from behind twice to win the game at Old Trafford after trailing 2-1 until the 60th minute mark. Bruno Fernandes' double and Rasmus Højlund's goal sealed United's victory. Over in tennis, former men's world number 1 Rafael Nadal says he's uncertain of playing at the French Open. Nadal told reporters he's far from being in peak form and that he will only play at the French Open if he feels competitive enough. He's currently featuring at the Madrid Open this week. And Japan's Naomi Osaka had a successful start to her Madrid Open campaign. She defeated Belgium's Greet Minen 6-4, 6-1 in straight sets. All right, Pakistan cricket is already facing a massive test. Babar Azam is at the helm once again, and they are playing New Zealand at home in a T20 series. Sort of a preliminary test before the T20 World Cup. There isn't much time to make too many changes here on, and this is the squad that needs to sharpen its skills in time for another World Cup. In fact, I'm sure some of them are still hurting from the last World Cup and what that brought with it for Pakistan cricket. Complete overhaul of the PCB, the board, the coaching staff, the selection committee and even the skipper. But now after a huge U-turn, there's hope of stability, a hope alone, but matters outside of the team are continuing to plague Pakistan cricket. The Champions Trophy could be next year and a while away. But Pakistan's hopes of conducting this mega event hangs in the balance. It's okay. It's very shaky ground right now and it involves India. What do I mean? Any ICC event in Pakistan means India travelling to Pakistan. That means alarm bells, problem and backup plans. Pakistan may hope all they want. The fans of cricket in Pakistan may hope all they want. But involving India is a matter that has a foregone conclusion in that it won't happen. PCB, though, is adamant after a podcast wherein Rohit Sharma, the Indian skipper, said he would like to see India and Pakistan play bilateral series at a neutral venue. There was a PCB source who is said to have quoted saying this.
Our target right now is to host the Champions Trophy and first let India come for the tournament. Right now, till the CT, there is no slot available as our team has a packed itinerary. Once they come here first, then we can look at any proposal whenever it comes before us.
They say play Champions Trophy first and at home and we can think of anything else. Again, very, very ambitious because we know Pakistan is keen on Champions Trophy being hosted by them in 2025 without any glitches.
We are confident we will host the Champions Trophy on schedule in Pakistan. Plans have been drawn up and work will begin soon on these 3 stadiums to give the fans the best experience of watching the matches at the venues.
Very confident board, but for that to happen, you need India to be there. Let's face it, any ICC event thrives most on one team's presence when it comes to the views, the fans, the stadiums being full, and the engagement and excitement level being high. That's India. They have the most following, so that brings in the numbers, thanks to also the population and presence of Indian cricket fans all over the world. So that means India's presence is key to any ICC event taking off. Then, of course, comes India versus Pakistan, a mega draw, more eyeballs, biggest attraction. It is the battle that is nothing short of a war, and that's what gets most engagement too on all fronts, whether it's the broadcasters, the ticketing, sales, marketing, the works. Pakistan wants that for their Champions Trophy, an event that they are hosting for the first time, an ICC event that's coming to them, to their country for the first time since the World Cup was hosted in 1996. That's, of course, before all things went south and Pakistan cricket and Pakistan became a no-host zone. Even though things look like they are returning to normal, the political relationship between the two countries, India and Pakistan, when it comes to hosting bilaterals or even playing each other in Pakistan is not. Pakistan says they came to India to play the World Cup last year, so India must return the favor, play Pakistan in 2025 with the Champions Trophy. But here's the thing, what we are hearing, Pakistan may not have any other option other than or the choice to hold that bargaining chip. There is no bargain here. They will have no choice but to adopt a hybrid system if they are keen to host the ICC Champions Trophy without any hiccups, which they are. So what is the solution then? What is bound to happen? Sources say it will be a hybrid setup in all likelihood, like we saw at the Asia Cup last year. Pakistan can host matches of the Champions Trophy between, of course, 7 of the 8 teams or whatever is feasible. India's matches, including the one against Pakistan, will have to take place at a neutral venue, mostly UAE, the country that always is willing to step in to help India out in hosting events and matches, whether it was the IPL some years back or the Women's T20 League before it became the WPL, or certain bilateral face-offs like we saw at the Asia Cup. Pakistan will try its best to avoid this situation. They want this to be Pakistan's event, by Pakistan, in Pakistan, for the Pakistan cricket fan. But if India refuses to travel, the board will have to get an approval from the government for this one to be sanctioned. Then there is little choice. So Pakistan has a massive battle on its hands already, but maybe they should take that one step at a time. Focus on the T20 World Cup at this point. That's the big one coming up. And if all goes well there, they can target what comes next. The historic win came some days ago, but it's still the biggest story of the week. India's Gukesh scripted history in Toronto. At just 17, Gukesh achieved what many only dream of, winning the prestigious Candidates Tournament, a tournament that decides the challenger for the World Championship. He became the first Indian after Vishwanathan Anand to win the tournament. It was no wonder then that fans and media houses thronged the airport to welcome the boy back home. It was around 3 a.m. local time in the morning. Gukesh stepped out of the Chennai airport, and before he could even make sense of where he was, his surroundings, he had garlands thrown around his neck. While the police was busy escorting him out safely, hundreds of people wanted to congratulate him and crowded him. A teenager being welcomed this way is a rare sight. A chess player receiving such adulation, much rarer still. The only other time was when Pragyananda came back as runner-up at the FIDE World Cup. If Pragyananda got the country excited about chess once again, Gukesh has made this country realize there is immense talent in here, and he too is leading the way. And while Gukesh was welcomed by hundreds of people, strangers who wanted to greet him, be a part of his moment of success and achievement, there was a familiar face in the crowd. It was his mother, Padma Kumari, who would have been thrilled to see her son come home as champion. Gukesh's parents are strangers to chess though. His father is a surgeon and mother a microbiologist. We've said this before, but despite not having a background in chess or even clued into the sport, Gukesh's parents became his strongest pillars and proved to be pivotal to his growth in the sport. They recognized and encouraged his passion in a sport that didn't have too many takers in the country. Behind Gukesh's incredible achievements lies perseverance, sacrifice, and an unwavering support from his family.
Financially, there were a few hardships, but that was sorted after he became a grandmaster. While he continues to work hard, we are doing the same to be able to support him in whatever way we can.
Despite facing financial struggles, like she says, Gukesh's parents ensured he had access to training, to tournaments, and the opportunities to excel. Gukesh stopped attending school full-time after class 4 to focus on chess alone. It was a brave move, but one that his parents fully endorsed, and that made the difference. Children are as brave as they see their parents to be and grow up to be bold when they are encouraged to be so by their families, the people they look up to. Because what followed when Gukesh quit classes was that his father, Rajnikant, a surgeon, quit his practice. What was the need, you may ask? Why did he do that? It isn't easy to raise a champion. A parent can always encourage, motivate, and give their children the freedom to go ahead and try to achieve their dreams. But for Gukesh to become a champion, he needed the support, the constant support of a parent being there by his side, guiding him, traveling with him, and just taking him through what would be his biggest test. We saw that with Sania Mirza during her career. Her father, Imran Mirza, forgot his own ambitions and his family to be there and support and mentor Sania. So it isn't just one parent's sacrifice or decision, it's that of a family, a collective decision. Each member of that family to recognize the dream and endorse every aspect of it. Because for Rajnikant to travel with his son Gukesh, his mother had to hold fort at home and earn and toil to keep the household running. While Gukesh's mother decided to do that, his father traveled with Gukesh to every single tournament, including the candidates in Toronto.
Gukesh's father is the one who has helped him reach this level, starting from the very small steps. As a doctor, to give up his whole career is the biggest sacrifice a father can make, especially after settling down, given that you have to overcome a lot of challenges to become a doctor. He has stopped practicing his profession for the last 7 to 8 years and has done whatever he can for Gukesh.
And their collective sacrifices paid off. Gukesh's triumph at the candidates tournament is not just a victory for him, but for his whole family. It was all of their sacrifices that made him the mentally tough, astute, calm and composed champion that we all see sitting in front of far more accomplished and experienced players and managing to hold his ground. Gukesh's attitude and his mental strength, of course, comes from his parents, who have pulled through the challenges that life threw at them to be by his side. That very same fighting spirit that Gukesh displayed while playing against Hikaru Nakamura and Ian Nepomniachtchi and other experienced campaigners at the candidates tournament, whom he managed to overpass. Gukesh's success story isn't an overnight one. While his parents kept supporting him, it was Gukesh who gave back in equal measure with his hard work and his passion to keep at it. From winning the Under-9 Asian School Chess Championships in 2015 to clinching the World Youth Championships in 2018, Gukesh's journey so far is nothing short of inspirational. And this is just the beginning. There's more to do and many more months down the line that a World Championship face-off awaits opposite Ding Liren. For now, though, the world should admire the rise of Gukesh, not just through the boy's talent and skills, but try seeing it through the struggles, the hardships, the strength of overcoming each hurdle from the lens of the unsung heroes, Gukesh's parents, Padma Kumari and Rajnikant, who have delivered a blockbuster. It's a season of farewells in the city of Liverpool. While Liverpool will bid a tearful goodbye to their inspirational manager Jurgen Klopp at the end of the season, Everton said farewell to Goodison Park, where they played the last game against arch-rivals Liverpool. Everton will part ways with their home stadium at the end of this year, a stadium that has been their home for more than 130 years. It was their last Merseyside Derby at the stadium. The Merseyside Derby is the name given to the contest between Liverpool and Everton, the two intercity rivals. Why Merseyside though? The name is derived from the River Mersey that runs right between, separating the two clubs. The rivalry between Liverpool and Everton has been a long-standing one, and so the game last night was both emotional and added a key chapter to their history. Liverpool stepped into the match with the quest of keeping their title hopes alive, while Everton were focused on avoiding the bottom 3 spots so that they can continue playing in the Premier League and not get relegated. And their emotions combined with a spirited performance produced a magical display. Despite the odds stacked against them, Everton gave their fans much to cheer for, clinching a vital 2-0 victory over Jurgen Klopp's men. The victory not only lifted Everton's spirits but also dented Liverpool's chances in their pursuit of a glorious finish.
No good thoughts at all. Very disappointed, frustrated, obviously. Had now obviously a few interviews, and I would say you can sum up. It was not good enough. You honestly can read the table. So shall I say now we are still fully in, or what? So we need a crisis at City and Arsenal, and we need to win football games, because if they start now losing all the games and we do what we did tonight, nothing changed. And then we are not safe in the Champions League as well. So we should just play better football.
Klopp's dejected words sum up the tense situation Liverpool find themselves in after a loss against Everton that nobody was expecting. Because the last time Everton won at the Goodison Park against Liverpool was more than 13 years ago, in a match that saw Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta playing for Everton. And by defeating Liverpool, Everton seems to have handed their former player a rather important gift, a gift that they will happily accept in the Premier League title race. Because with this loss, Arsenal will fancy their chances much more. But let's keep the emotions aside for a minute. This game came as a bit of a shocker. A 2-0 defeat for Liverpool was never on the cards, especially when they dominated the game with the ball. They had most possession and more shots on the target. And despite that, Liverpool weren't clinical enough. But that's how Liverpool's past 4 weeks have been. From the highs of the Carabao Cup win to defeats across competitions, and this one last night clearly has pegged them back in their ambitions to finish on top. Post that win over a more fancied Chelsea at the Carabao Cup final, it looked like Liverpool were on track to give their manager Klopp the most triumphant send-off. But as the season wore on, so too their will to stay fierce, that's worn down too. First they were knocked out of the FA Cup, then the Europa League, and now a disastrous result at the Premier League title race. So much so that Klopp isn't even confident of a Champions League spot, despite a 14-point cushion over 5th place Tottenham. The threat of missing out on Champions League football spot, Klopp may be being a bit dramatic here, but this loss is sure to have hurt. And Klopp's honest disappointment only highlights how intense it is getting for the top 3 teams out there. In fact, their lead star, Virgil van Dijk, was shattered after the game, admitting that if they continued to play this way, missing crucial chances and failing to close out key games, then they will have to forget finishing well at the Premier League. And with Klopp's tenure coming to an end, Liverpool fans are left wondering if this season will be a bittersweet one to end Jurgen Klopp's tenure. Time for last serve. Paris is trying to get all the right noises going for the Olympics that is just some months away now, and they are using their many tourist attractions to drive home the point of this one being a memorable edition. The latest, their run in the Louvre at the iconic stadium as a build-up to the Games. That wraps up Firstpost here today, but do not miss an exclusive interview that's coming your way on Firstpost. This is with Mike Hesson on Royal Challengers Bengaluru disappointing run this season. Don't miss that one. But for now, it's bye-bye. Take care. Till I see you again.